right, so today we're going to continue our lesson on finding the volume. So last time we found the volume of prisms and cylinders, so this is just a quick review here. So the formula is big B times H, and what big B stood for was the area of the base. So like on this first one over here, it's a triangular prism. So our big B is going to be base times height divided by 2. So that's our big B. And then we times it by the height of the pyramid, or of the prism, right? So over on cylinder, right, so our big B on cylinder is going to be a circle. It's, you know, the base is a circle there. So our big B is pi r squared, and then times the height. And you can see that's what the formula is right there. All right, and then so on. So we did those last time. That's what we did last time. So one thing to notice about prisms is that if we take a look here, like on this pentagonal prism here, it has a pentagon on both right there and right here. So it's got two pentagons. This one has two of the same shape, two squares. This one has two hexagon bases. It's called the bases. All right. So today what we're going to do is we're going to find the volume of cones and, there we go, cones and pyramids, okay? So cones and pyramids, if we take a look at those, there is only one circle. There is only one hexagonal base. So pyramids and cones have just one base. And then they come or meet at a point at the top. Okay, so they meet at a point. All right, so what does that do to their volume? Well, you can see the formula here, or here's my little demonstration. Normally, if we were in class, I would have a cone and a cylinder of the same height, and I would make you guess. I would say, okay, if I filled up the cone with rice, or I usually have it filled up with water, I said, how many cones would it take to fill up my cylinder? And most kids think it's 1/2. And then they're surprised that when I fill it up, one cone only is 1/3. Okay, so we would have 1/3, then I would fill it up again. Okay, I would have another 1/3, and then lastly, I would have another 1/3. Okay, so cones and cylinders or pyramids and prisms of the same height and the same base are just going to be 1/3 of each other. So that's what our formula is here. So our formula that we're going to be using today is 1/3 big B times H. So it really isn't anything different than what we were doing last time. The only thing is we're going to put a 1/3 in front of it. Okay, so here's some examples. So on this pyramid here, the base is a rectangle. So we're going to go 1/3, right? The area formula for a rectangle is going to be length times width, and then times our height. So it'll be 1/3 times 6 times 7, and then the height of the pyramid is 9. So we would multiply all those guys out, and we would get our answer, whatever it is. And it would be miles cubed. Okay? All right, so down here on my next example, this one, we're going to assume it's a square pyramid. So if this is 10, this would be 10. Okay, so again, we still have 1/3 big B, in this case, is a square, so it'll be length times width, or base times height of the square, and then times the height of the whole pyramid. Okay, so we'll go 1/3 times 10 times 10 times, now on this one, I want to know what the height of the pyramid is, and I don't know it. The height of the pyramid would be right here. You gotta, you know, when you're filling this up with cubes, you would fill it straight up. Okay, so we don't have that number. Okay, well, anytime we don't know a number, right, we can always find it by either using our 45-45 or our 30-60-90 or our Pythagorean triples. And in this case, 10 is the entire side here. So from the center of my square to the edge of the square is not going to be 10, right? That's going to be a 5, right? It's going to be halfway. So if that's 5, and then you'll notice I have kind of a little right triangle in here, and that slanted one is 13. So 5, what, and 13. So if we look up our Pythagorean triples, we would know that that would be a 12. So 12 will be our height there. So when I'm timesing this on my calculator, I just want to show you quickly how we would do that. So 1/3, if you have this calculator, you would just hit your fraction button and do the 1 and then the 3. Okay. If you have the calculators like we had in class, you would hit the 1, and then it's called the ABC button, and then the 3. And then we'll hit times, 10 times 10 times 12. Okay. Now, if your calculator doesn't have this fraction here, what I would do is I would just go do the 10 times the 10 times the 12, right? And then 1/3 is the same thing as dividing by 3. So then we would just divide by 3, and we would get the same answer. So again, you could go 10 times 10 times 10, oops, got too many 10s there, times 12, and then 1/3 is the same thing as dividing by 3. So either one there. So our volume on this one ended up being 400 inches cubed. Okay? All right, so my next example is a triangular pyramid. So the base of my pyramid is a triangle. So my formula will be 1/3. If the base is a triangle, the area formula for a triangle is base times height divided by 2. And then times the height of the whole pyramid. So sometimes kids get confused because there's 2 heights in there. So you just have to remember that this height came from the triangle. Okay, so it's the triangular base, if you will. Okay, so 1/3, looking at the triangle, the base triangle, right down here. Okay, the 90-degree angle is over here in that corner, back here. So what 2 pieces, the base and the height, meet at that 90-degree angle? It's going to be the 3 and the 4. So 3 and 4 are going to be the base and the height of the base triangle. Divided by 2. Now, how tall is the pyramid? How tall is the pyramid? Right here. 4. Okay. So, again, timesing this in on my calculator. You could just times all the way across the top. So 1 times 3 times 4 times 4. Okay, you could figure out what that answer is. And then divide it by, and then 3 times 2 is 6. So you could do it that way. Okay? Right, again, you can type it in just like how we have it on here. So I would practice a few times with your calculator, making sure that you can figure out how you want to type it in to get the same answers as I'm getting. All right, so I'm just showing you on mine. I could do, right, I'm just typing it in exactly like I have my formula. Okay, so we get 8 for a final answer, or if I multiply all the top, right, the top gives me 48. 48 divided by the bottom 6 is 8 as well. So the volume would be 8, and then what was that, miles cubed. Okay. All right, again, please make sure that you are sending me pictures of your work so that if you make mistakes and you type it in wrong, right, I can see that you did it right and I will give you full credit for it. All right, so on this one, we have a polygonal pyramid. So what shape is the base? It's a pentagon. All right, so our base is a pentagon. So we want to find the area for a pentagon, which is apothem perimeter divided by 2. Okay, so our big B is that formula. All right, so 1/3. All right, looking around for the apothem on my pentagon. So remembering that the apothem starts at the center of the pentagon and makes a 90-degree angle with the side. So that would be this piece right here, which I don't see a number for that piece. However, I do see a right triangle right there. And I know 15, 17, I look at my Pythagorean triple. So 8 would be my apothem there. Now what would the perimeter be? So 12. Right? A lot of kids get the perimeter wrong. You know, sometimes kids go 12 times 6. They think it's a hexagon. That's just a tiny mistake. So I don't want to mark the entire thing wrong if that is the case. So show me your work, and if I can just say, hey, your perimeter was wrong. All right, so this one, the perimeter is 12. It's a pentagon, so times 5. So the perimeter would be 60. Okay, and then how tall is the entire pyramid? 15 would be the height of the entire pyramid. Okay. So again, typing this in on my calculator, I could type it in just exactly like I see it with the fractions and everything, or I can just type straight across the top, 1 times 8 times 60 times 15. All right, and then straight across the bottom, 3 times 2 is 6. So just be 7,200 on the top, divided by 6 on the bottom, and we get our answer is 1,200 cubic inches. Again, that's how many cubes, right? We'd have 1,200 cubes in that pyramid. Okay. All right. So on this pyramid, I do have a hexagon on this one. So it'll be the same formula as the last. Apothem times perimeter divided by 2. So our big B is a hexagon on this one. So on this one, I know the perimeter, right? So perimeter is 10 times 6, so perimeter would be 60. But now I do not know the apothem. Okay, so I gotta figure out the apothem here. So this goes back to our chapter 9 stuff. So when I drew this in, right, the central angle was a 60 degrees. When I drew in my apothem right here, right, then the 10 down here gets split, so it'd be 5 and 5. And my angles would also get split up here, so up on the top, this would be a 30-degree angle. This would be a 60-degree angle over here. So the apothem is going to be across from the 60-degree angle. So if the 5 is across from the 30, our apothem then would be 5 square root 3. All right. So again, using our stuff from chapter 9, it's not going away. All right. Now, how tall is the entire pyramid? 18. Okay. All right, so typing this in, I believe this one on the homework is nearest 10th. So we're going to type in 1 times 5 square root 3. I'm done with my square root, so I arrow out of it. Then times 60 times 18. So that's what I would get on the top. And then the bottom, I'm just going to mental math. 3 times 2 is 6. So divide that top by 6. And I get 1558.8 cubic inches. Oops. Okay. So please make sure you're trying this on your calculator and that you are getting the same answer as I am. All right. Last thing here is cones. All right. So cones, 1/3. Our big B is a circle. So pi r squared, and then our height. Right. So 1/3 pi. The radius on this one would be 8 squared. Now the height of the cone is not this slanted piece. It is this straight up and down piece. So 8, 17, and 15 would be the Pythagorean triple. All right. Now typing this in on our calculator, you can either use 3.14 or the pi button. Please just make sure that whatever you do, again, show me your work, because a lot of kids are getting wrong answers just because they rounded a little bit differently. But if I can see your work, that would be great. Okay, so we're going to type all that in. So 1/3 times, 3.14 times 8 squared times 15, and we get our answer 125.6 feet cubed. All right. Okay. Last question here. How am I doing on time? I'm always running out of time here. I'm out of time. There's going to